Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. There is one country which, if you read the rankings of the most desirable places for, international workers, etc., to live, is Spain. There's a lot of different cities, in particular in the south of Spain, that are considered to be just fantastic. And frankly, Spain's a beautiful country. Lots to love about Spain. Granted, a bunch of crime, like pickpocket capital of Europe in Barcelona, some kind of nuts robberies that take place in places like Marbella, etc. But all of that aside, you've got great weather, you've got great geography, you've got great history, you've got great culture, you've got great food, lots to love, right? And on the other hand, lots of tax to hate. They have wealth tax, one of the few places going. Their personal taxes, outrageously high. Their corporate taxes, high. And then on top of that, dealing with their bureaucracy, etc., just nonsense. Fortunately, they're not that organized. They're not that great at going after people, but terrible system. It is what I would consider to be the California of Europe. This being said, I've been saying for a while now that what we're going to start to see, the trend we're observing, contrary to what some people out there are saying, is a bit more tax competition. In particular, amongst the quote-unquote, less well-off countries in places like Europe. We saw it with Italy, with Greece, with Portugal. To some extent, you might say then Croatia has rolled stuff out. Cyprus obviously has great attractions, Malta, etc. Well, now Spain is coming to the table and trying to compete through their Startup Act. So this is essentially a digital nomad visa program that they're bringing in, attempting to lure startups, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, etc., to Spain. And frankly, they would have a lot to compete on if they competed with, their regulatory framework, their bureaucracy, their taxes, etc. Today I'm going to talk about the details of that program. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you be interested? How does it compare to what we can find in Portugal, in Croatia, in Costa Rica, and Barbados, and some of these places that we've talked about? So let's dive in. Before we do, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, hit the all notification bell. Make sure you don't miss out on any of our videos. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Appreciate your support. Thank you for helping us to grow the channel. And if you would like help with any of the things that we deal with here, which is international tax optimization, forming companies, opening bank accounts, getting residencies and citizenships around the world, please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosenberg. There's a link in the description below, or send a message to our websites, offshorecitizen.net and offshorecapitalist.com. Okay, so what are they proposing? Well, first of all, let's just say there were some rumors of this program in one form or another for quite some time, and it did not seem very attractive. To give some context, what they were suggesting at the time, back in, say, September, was, okay, there's going to be this digital nomad visa. Keep in mind that we've seen digital nomad visas, and you can go back and check some of my other videos from places like Costa Rica, where they're, explicitly no tax, Malta, more or less no tax, et cetera, right? In this case, they were going to say, hey, for the first 6 months, you have to pay only 24% tax. And then after that, we're going to determine by tax treaties. And we're going to give you a 1-year visa. We're going to make it easy for you. And then you can extend if you can maintain the criteria. Now, they didn't exactly go with that. They were, I don't know if you would say it's more attractive. I guess it's more attractive. But I don't think that Spain has quite understood the concept of competition yet, which is too bad because it's wonderful. I would love to, buy property in Marbella. I really like it there. I think Barcelona is one of the most top cities in Europe. For me personally, I much prefer Spain as a country to be in, to visit, to live than Portugal. Portugal's really popular, but I would rather be in Spain personally. And I think a bunch of other people would be as well. Obviously, I have friends who prefer Portugal, so there's lots of personal preference there. The bottom line is, Spain wouldn't have to work that hard to attract people because they've got so much going for them. However, I don't think their politicians really get it. So let's talk about what they've done. Well, they've said, all right, we're going to reduce our corporate tax rate and our tax rate for non-residents to 15%. So the normal corporate tax rate in Spain is 25%. There's a bunch of other stuff that can factor in there. We're saying, hey, look, 15%. It's not terrible, but it's certainly not great, especially when you consider that that's just the corporate tax rate, then you have to deal with everything else. They have made an effort to streamline the process of forming companies. They're saying you'll be able to do it in 6 hours, which is great, and there's a single point of contact, etc. You can get these tax benefits for a period of 5 years, so that's kind of cool that you can do that. I would say that they should probably open up a bit more to being able to qualify for dual citizenship. At the moment, that's kind of difficult in Spain. It'd be good if they were to move in that direction if they want to be competitive. It would help if they reduce the time to get citizenship from 10 years to 5 years or something like that. But anyway, they're not asking me for my opinion at this point in time, so we'll leave that. Anyway, so that's the first thing. Second of all, they've increased the deductions you can get for contributing to a new business to 50%, up to 100,000 euros. Not particularly exciting for the most part. Then they have brought in a thing where stock options can be tax exempt for up to 50,000 euros a year. I guess that's decent for a worker who's maybe coming in and getting, a reasonable salary plus some stock options. It's okay, but it's not anything to write home about, for tech founders who are thinking that, they may grow their company a lot and get a bunch of extra compensation that could add up to millions, right? So that's basically it. So slightly lower tax rates, streamlined process, 5-year, easy to get visa. I fully expect that they will do the visas thing quite easily. That's probably something they'll do well. I don't know that I really want to register a company in Spain because then I have to deal with Spanish banks and Spanish reporting, and now I'm in their system, and it doesn't really strike me as the thing that I'm really after. So, the 6 hours is a nice move. The reality is that the idea of saying that you're encouraging entrepreneurship and then forming companies is a pain, like it is in some place like Poland, for instance, is kind of laughable. So this is a good move in that regard. However, I'll respectfully decline. And then, some little exemptions here. Okay, it's not terrible. It's certainly an improvement. We like that they're moving in the right direction, but it's not competitive with what is out there at the moment. So I do expect that we're going to see more of this sort of thing from a bunch of countries. I don't think you'll see it from countries like Germany, etc., so much at this point in time. Mainly, they just kind of don't need it, and they can be a little bit more elitist in that regard. They have people coming in for other reasons. So these Southern European countries really need it because, frankly, they're bankrupt, and there's people leaving because the opportunities aren't there. So they need to attract people who are going to bring money, who are going to spend into the economy, who are going to create jobs, etc. Like I said, we've seen a little bit of that with the retirement schemes as well as the favorable tax rate schemes in both Greece. The Greece one is not that great. On the retirement scheme's not bad, but the digital nomad one, not so great. And in Italy, obviously Portugal has done a great job of attracting places. Costa Rica doing a pretty good job. Some other places doing a good job. So anyway, I think we'll see some more move in this direction. It just makes kind of logical sense that if people are leaving, you have to do something to attract them. And I think at this stage, every country is realizing, holy shit, we've got this whole huge host of digital nomads who are going to come. What they're going to have to figure out is how to monetize them in some other ways, such as, having them spend in the local economy, generating VAT, not having to provide services for them, etc. There can be like a really good symbiotic relationship there. It is worth noting that there is an exemption here, which is if you can get a tax residency certificate from another country that you can present to the Spanish tax authorities, then you can end up with some added benefits under this regime, at least is what they're saying. And so, okay, if you could get that, that's great. The problem is, generally to get it, you're going to have to spend 6 months in another country. Not always true, but generally true. And as a result, you're going to be in a situation where you're not going to be able to present it to Spain, and they want it for the year that you're trying to compete with. So, you can look at it either way. Oh, yeah, they also eliminated double socials on people who are moonlighting, which, thank you for doing what just should have always been the case. So anyway, bottom line, in my opinion, not a very good program. Probably one of the worst digital nomad programs. The one in Iceland is not that attractive. I'll go through and maybe cover some of those in the future, but wouldn't be my top choice in spite of the fact that as a country, I think it's, one of the most attractive and beautiful, and I love spending time there. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next video.